Hey guys, my name is Spencer Lorenzen. I am a 19-year-old online fitness coach. I help driven and ambitious men with demanding lifestyles achieve unrealistic and ambitious fitness goals. This has been my passion for the last year, and I absolutely love my life because of it. Now, like I said, I am 19 years old, and I am using performance-enhancing drugs. Now, you probably hear teenager on steroids, and you think, wow, what an idiot. He's gonna ruin his brain and body, and he's going to die young. That sucks. But rather than be a belligerent fool for clicks and views, I'd rather offer a more thoughtful and intellectual perspective on this because nothing's ever black and white, especially the use of PEDs. So obvious concerns. First up, you're 19. That's so young. What are you doing? I've got doctors and coaches in my corner backing this decision, as well as years of my own extensive research. Now, a more prevailing concern internally for me is you're a fitness coach. Isn't that a bad example? So I'll tell you what. I've got over a dozen mind-blowing client transformations that were all achieved naturally using systems I developed and knowledge I acquired naturally through the trials and tribulations I went through naturally. I've transformed my own physique to something I'm extremely proud of that some people consider not achievable naturally. From an anorexic starting point, naturally. I've competed on the national stage in powerlifting, naturally. I've gotten my own testosterone level up to 1153, naturally. So I've earned my stripes of credibility, independent of my decision to begin the route of pharmaceutical enhancement. Now that that's out of the way, why am I deciding to be so open about this? First and foremost, I fucking hate fake natties. I think that they're the gayest people on this planet. If you're unable to be open and honest about the fact that you stick yourself with a needle twice a week, even if your physique looks natural, you're a fucking pussy because you're misleading others and you're just fucking insecure. Even though my physique is definitely achievable naturally right now, and at the end of this cycle, it will probably still be achievable naturally, I have no problem being open about it because I'm independently confident in my achievements, my knowledge, and my value as it currently stands. So that is why I'm deciding to be open about it. Also, I feel convicted and called to be a 100% authentic personality on the internet. I want my IRL personality and my internet personality to be one-to-one exactly the same because that is how, number one, I'm most sustainable. Number two, I feel the most fulfilled. Number three, I reach the most people. And number four, I am the most successful. I know the most authentic version of myself that is 100% me on the internet is the most successful version of me and the most fulfilled version of me. It's reasonable to assume that, oh, you're just a stupid teenager, so you're doing this for attention and views and validation. Very reasonable assumption. Most teenagers that hop on steroids on social media do it for that reason. We've seen lots of instances of this. Now, I view it the opposite way, especially because I'm being open about it. I think that I'm actually going to get less validation. I'm going to get more negative attention. And I'm okay with that. Because again, number one, this is my own decision for my own personal reasons, which to me is more important than what any stranger thinks or says on the internet. And number two, I value being open and authentic above everything. So even if there's a tank in my credibility for whatever reason, although like I just explained, I don't think that's valid. And even if there's a tank in positive attention, I get a lot of hate comments for it. I don't give a shit. And it's funny because I've been getting accused of being on PEDs for such a long time as a natural. And now I know that I'm being open about it. I know that I'm going to get so many comments saying, you look natural. Which just goes to show you that no matter what on the internet, people are going to bark at you and try to break you down. And you should not pay attention to it. And again, my goal here is to educate, inspire, and help others. So I don't really care about hate comments. I'm not here to pay attention to that. So if you're gonna be a retard and say something retarded, I really don't give a shit. And thanks for the engagement. So, like I said, personal reasons. What are my own personal reasons? Well, my end goal, my long-term vision, is that I want to achieve a physique that is not attainable naturally. Not to say that I want to be some ogre-esque bodybuilder on the verge of death, but I would like my end result with training to be a physique that, again, is not achievable without the use of PEDs. So just sitting above the realm of what's naturally attainable given my genetics and my body. That is my own personal goal, and obviously that begins with the use of PEDs. I always knew from maybe around 3 years ago, that it would be a matter of when and not if I hop on PEDs. And at this point in time, I decided that I'm ready. So what am I taking? Last week, I began taking 400 milligrams of testosterone enanthate, which is obviously bioidentical hormone. Given that I've had over a dozen blood draws of my own endogenous natural testosterone levels, seeing what it had done for me to tightly regulate that and naturally more than double my own testosterone levels, seeing what effect it had on my physique, my mental health, and my lifestyle, and being able to replicate that in my clients as well, I wanted to go ahead and take it up a notch and see what exogenous, supplemented, injected testosterone could do for that as well. And I will say, on the second week, I feel fucking amazing. It's like every day is basically just me functioning at 100%, and the one thing that is super noticeable is an increased libido, as expected. And aside from that, my muscles feel a bit more full just at rest, and I just feel like I'm in a pretty good mood all the time. I'm not really getting any anger, not really getting any insomnia, nothing negative so far. So I selected a dose of 400 milligrams because I believe that that is around the minimum required to see a tangible anabolic effect, but it is a mild enough dose that it's pretty easy to manage side effects if they are to arise, and also easy to monitor expected or unexpected changes within my body. The second compound I'm taking is 4 IUs of human growth hormone daily, and as of yesterday, I increased the dose to 8 IUs. I understand that that is a pretty high dose. However, I am still going through puberty. As of my last x-ray, most of my growth plates are still open. I've been growing taller for the last 6 months. I've actually grown about almost 2 inches in height, which is unusual being that I'm almost 20 years old. But I was a late bloomer and I did miss out on some development due to being anorexic, which is another reason why I'm deciding to use human growth hormone, as I believe it is somewhat therapeutic, even at this dose, which is above most medical protocols. And obviously I'm monitoring for the known potential side effects of this dose, which would be anything having to do with insulin sensitivity, in turn the glucose regulation, as well as potential hyperplasia and acromegaly of the organs. But I'm not even planning to run this dose for long enough to see those kind of effects, especially with the organs. And again, if I notice some unwanted side effects, I can always decrease the dose or come off altogether. Also, I want to point out that the inclusion of human growth hormone in this stack is not really physique motivated. It is going to be a very minor lever in terms of building a physique and producing changes in the way I look. It is more so for maxing out the tail end of puberty, as well as just overall health and wellness. There will be some minor benefits to fat loss and muscle gain over time, but it is very unlikely to be a noticeable difference. Now, the last compound I'm going to be taking is 40 milligrams of turinabol daily. Now, this is an oral steroid. As of right now, I do not have my hands on it as of the time of filming this, which is Thursday, March 12th. But it should be here in the mail, and I should be set to begin on Monday, March 16th, which is exactly 1 month before my 20th birthday. I'm going to be running this for 7 weeks. This is a compound that was developed in East Germany in the 1960s because it allowed their athletes to circumvent drug testing. It's noted for a lack of water retention, some mild, modest tissue accrual, and mainly explosive power and athletic performance. And given that I have the ambition of bench pressing 405 pounds, I believe this was a reasonable compound for me to select. And overall, we've got 2 bioidentical hormones and 1 synthetic oral anabolic steroid, which means that this stack is fairly simple, fairly easy to monitor effects and know what's doing what, and again, pretty mild on the body for someone who is a beginner with PEDs. I believe that I curated this protocol in the best way possible for my goals and my body. Now, I also want to point out that the decision to use performance-enhancing drugs stem not only from a desire to enhance my physique, but also to enhance my lifestyle. I believe that I can benefit from using exogenous testosterone in more areas than just the gym. As I'm an ambitious entrepreneur, I have ambitious goals beyond that of what a normal male will achieve nowadays. I do notice that even just 2 weeks on the super physiological amount of testosterone in my body, there is an increased drive, there is increased motivation, there is an increase in my self-belief and confidence, and my just motivation and overall just oomph towards my goals, which is amazing. It's not that I depend on it, but it's that in tandem with the fact that I have bodybuilding aspirations and physique aspirations, This is an added benefit. Not to get super deep and esoteric into it, but we know that our internal state will be reflected in our external reality. So obviously, if you hold a more positive internal state while you are taking action and working hard at your goals, you are more likely to manifest and achieve those goals quickly and confidently. And I view using exogenous testosterone as a helpful tool to get there. Again, not that I need it. Would you rather run a marathon in Timberlands or in fucking Pegasus Zooms? You know what I'm saying? I also want to make it very clear, the protocol I just outlined, just because it works for me, even if you're the same age, you've been lifting for the same amount of time, you have the same goals, doesn't mean you should copy me. I've gotten an EKG, I've gotten lots of blood work done, I understand my body extremely well. If you have not done those things prior, you should not copy me. If you don't even know what the fuck I just said, you shouldn't even be considering using PEDs. And again, it was never a matter of if for me, it was a matter of when. I kind of always knew in the back of my mind that at some point or another, I'd be taking this route of enhancement. And at this point in time, I was kind of running out of reasons why not to, other than the arbitrary, oh, I'm too young. But it's like, why am I too young? It doesn't make sense. And especially given that I'm using mild compounds, monitoring my health, I can only foresee it aiding in any potential development to come rather than stunting it. And I want to make this very clear. This was not just a whimsical, oh, fuck it, let's just hop on steroids. It is a lifelong commitment that I chose to make, backed by years of thoughtful analysis. And if you're thinking about going down the route of enhancement yourself, I want to make it very clear that there's no such thing as dipping your toes in or doing it halfway. You're not going to find some protocol that's like, oh, I just want to try it out. There's a bunch of stupid shit on there like, oh, clomiphene or do orals only. That's retarded. From the moment you inject, you are making a lifelong commitment to a deeper understanding of your body and manually regulating those systems yourself. And again, from that first injection, there's no going back. So if you're ready to make that lifelong commitment, it's not temporary. Even though you can, in theory, PCT and all this stuff, there's no guarantees. Everyone's different. This isn't as well studied as we'd like it to be. So you're essentially, no matter what, playing lab rat on yourself. If that's a risk you're willing to take due to your ambitions and your desired lifestyle, that's only a decision that you can make. I cannot make that choice for you. I cannot recommend it. And in fact, I do not recommend it. But I'm choosing to be open and vulnerable and transparent on here because that is my commitment to you guys. I'm simply sharing what I am doing, why I'm doing it, and my results because of it. I'm actually excited to continue making content about this, so please stay tuned for that. And please, in the comments, let me know. I know this video is somewhat brief, but let me know if there's anything that you want me to cover, any questions you want me to answer about it, anything you think I should track or be documenting along this journey. Perhaps you're considering using anabolics or PEDs, but aren't really ready to make the commitment yet, and you would like to live vicariously through me. By all means, lay it all out there to me. I would love to be of assistance to you via my content. So yeah, leave everything in the comments that you want to see from me. And also, like I said before, I help ambitious and driven men achieve atypical goals who have demanding lifestyles. And if that sounds like something that's going to be beneficial to you specifically because of your lifestyle, I've left a link down below in the description. You can book in a free 30-minute one-on-one call with me where we can analyze your situation as well as your goals and see if you're a good fit for the program. And either way, I'll help you out and leave you with some knowledge by the end of it. I've worked with Division II football players, I've worked with Ironman athletes, I've worked with strongman athletes, I've worked with powerlifters, I've worked with firefighters, I've worked with ultramarathon runners, all to achieve physique transformations that none of them ever thought was possible. Most of my clients get steroid accusations. That is a huge compliment to me, but none of my clients have ever actually taken steroids. But now that I'm enhancing myself, I may consider using it in protocols for those that want to, because it is another way that people achieve their fitness goals. But yeah, there it is. That's my announcement. Joining the dark side, as they say, or as I like to call it, turning over a leaf on my path of ascension. But yeah, stay tuned. We got a lot of cool stuff coming. Love you guys.